duk da addini da aka yi amfani da shi, Allah ya ba Asiwaju nasara. Abinda muka samu muka yi a Kaduna yanzu an yi shi a ƙasa gaba ɗaya. Babu wani makaryaci da zai zo ya ce zai fito ya ce shi zai yi siyasa na Kiristanci ya ci zaɓe. Peter Obi ya yi ga inda yake. An yi maganin wannan, dole suka yi shuru. Tun da Asiwaju ya ci zaɓe kan tsit. To da haka ne za a samu zaman lafiya a ƙasar nan. To shi ma ka gani aka sake aka ƙara sai komi sai ya. Wallahi abinda muka yi kenan, kuma ni da wasu daga cikinmu mu a ganinmu mun gama aikin. Asiwaju ya ci zaɓe mun gama aiki.
Good day, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching from, depending on your time zone. Welcome to another episode of Rights for All on social media. It's Rights for All. My name remains Barrister Kingdom Nandi. I'm an activist, lawyer, a pro-democracy activist. I want to today address a critical issue, that has to do with the politics of our nation, Nigeria. That has to do with the politics of who governs Nigeria in 2027. And I want to address some prominent northern leaders, who participated and played critical role, in bringing about the disaster we have today as APC administration. So, this first episode, I want to talk about my brother, former Governor El-Rufai, who is among the ADC coalition. And I want to talk not only to El-Rufai, to other northern leaders, and even I'll be using El-Rufai as a point of reference to talk to northern political leaders, Now, first of all, the 2003 Labour Party presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, has now formally picked the membership form of ADC, has now formally registered and displayed this membership card, for the whole world to see. And we commend him for that, for taking that bold step, to formally become a member of the opposition political coalition, that would salvage Nigeria in 2007. And we congratulate the ADC for having a credible man like Peter Obi, formally joining ADC. And I want to now that he has joined ADC, let me address northern leaders and ADC leaders. The truth remains that Peter Obi is a candidate for 2027 election. No matter the abracadabra they are trying to do at the National Assembly, they are trying to further amend the letter act, to suffocate the opposition politicians, so that immediately you join or you are now a member of a political party, you no longer exercise their constitutional right, of freely joining and visiting any political party, that does not meet your interests. And so, while they are amending that section of the letter act, they should also quickly amend Section 40 of the 1999 Constitution, expunge it. That is the only way this letter act will survive. So what I'm saying in essence is that now that Peter Obi has formally joined the ADC, the northern political leaders have to be very sincere with themselves. They have to be very sincere and come to terms to the fact that an Igbo man is an intrinsic part of this country, to tell themselves the truth that a presidential candidate of Igbo extraction should and must be supported. It's not just only constitutional, it is equitable, it is something that should be done for the sake of moral consciousness, for the sake of unity of this country. Northern political leaders like El-Rufai, Atiku Abubakar, Malabi, all of them that are now part of the ADC coalition. Let me first of all single out El-Rufai and address him in this episode. Specifically, El-Rufai made several damaging statements in the 2022 election, when he said Peter Obi is a Nollywood actor. Yes, he's playing very well in some Christian enclaves, in northern Nigeria. He came in the presidential election. El-Rufai made some very critical and damaging statements, like we have replicated, what we did in Kaduna State in Nigeria, Muslim ticket, that no Christian nobody that is a Christian that can win presidential election in Nigeria. All these things he said in a video that we have just played, in Hausa language, and that now Khan is silent, that they have succeeded in having a president of the vice president of the same faith, that they have replicated what they have done. So he said several derogatory things about P2B in 2023 Sean, and they also said made several statements that one can classify as religious bigotry. So now that P2B, and now that they are pretending, or they have decided to come together as opposition leaders to rescue Nigeria from the Tinubu administration that have crippled the entire system, the economy, the political sector. In fact, working very hard to turn Nigeria to one party state. So now that people like El-Rufai are not part of the position, they should come out clean. Not only El-Rufai, northern political leaders, they should come out clean and be sincere, in now rewriting the history, in now correcting the damaging statements he made, against P2B and all that. So what I'm saying in essence is that they must tell themselves the truth. They must be realistic about changing the Tinubu administration. And they must also tell themselves the truth that the presidency for the next 4 years should remain in the central Nigeria. This country belongs to all of us. We all hold equal stake in this country. I can never subscribe to a country, to a Nigeria, where I will be referred or treated, as a second-class citizen. I will not. I will speak against it. I will fight against it. Within the ambits of the law, I have always said it. So all the agitations in the southeast and all the injustices in the southeast, are a creation of the political, leaders, not only just from the northern Nigeria, inspired with political actors, in the southwest and another part of the country. So what I'm saying in essence is that they should be sincere with themselves, that they truly want to rescue Nigeria from the hands of the current menace we call renewed hopelessness. They should be sincere to themselves to the extent that they should not come out boldly and support P2B. People like El-Rufai should not come out and start speaking in Hausa language to tell their followers that a Christian can as well win presidential election. Christians have won presidential election in this country. So why would El-Rufai go to that level, of religious bigotry to now say we have replicated what he did in Kaduna? We now have a president of Muslim extraction, of Muslim faith, and a vice president of Muslim faith, and that no Christian will win election. We just played the video. He made those speeches in Hausa language. So people like him should not be sincere with themselves. The northern political leaders, they should have 2 points I just want them to know. Presidency must remain in the south for the next 4 years. Buhari took complete 8 years, and that was what they fought against Jonathan. They felt upon the demise of Yar'Adua, and he didn't complete 4-year tenure. Jonathan completed a 1-year tenure and took another 4 years, and they felt it was unjust for Jonathan to continue in office after the demise of Yar'Adua. He completed the remaining 1 year and had another 4-year tenure in 2011 election, and they all came together, conspired like former Vice President Atiku said. That will be in the second episode. I will address Atiku's statement at the recent press conference, by the opposition coalition leaders, where he told the Nigerians how they conspired to bring about this APC government, and that has now worsened the situation that was before 2014. So what I'm saying is that northern political leaders must be sincere with themselves. They must, in pretending to be building ADC as a credible alternative for Nigeria, they should note 2 points. Presidency must remain in the southern Nigeria for the next 2 years. The Nigerian president of Southeast extraction is not only just equitable, it's not only constitutionally correct, constitutionally reasonable, it's not only morally correct, morally doable, it is what we bring out Nigeria out of this political quagmire, because we now have a credible candidate that is acceptable by all Nigerians across board, across the faith, like we witnessed during the 2023 presidential election. We saw P2B's performance. So they shouldn't be pretending. Otherwise, the day a northern candidate emerges as ADC presidential candidate, that party will die naturally. Presidency must remain in the south for the next 8 years. They must be factual about it. They must be intentional. They must deliberately work towards it, work towards actualizing it. So if you're talking about changing this bad government, this corrupt government, a government that cannot even implement their own budget. 2024 budget has not even been completely implemented. Nobody has even talked about the capital content of the 2025 budget. Not even to talk about it. Even the senators that are decamping, defecting to APC, because all of them are hungry, because the projects they put in the budget, because all of them have companies with which they siphon federal government money in the name of fake contracts, embedded in our annual budget. So all of them are hungry because Tinubu is running a 4-year budget in 2 years. 4-year budgets, that is the reason why 2024 budget has not been implemented. 2025 budget, nobody's talking about it. They are hoping that they will start implementation, and then 2026 budget, nobody's talking about it. You can see that this is a criminal government. You can see that this is a criminal cartel. So when Showore calls Tinubu a criminal, people will begin to wonder why is he being prosecuted, by the former illegal IGP, that has just been removed. You can see from all actions and inactions that this government of Tinubu is a criminal cartel, that he cannot even genuinely and sincerely fund his own budget. And that is why you see the senators, members of the House of Reps, they are jumping, governors jumping to join APC because they are all hungry. Because as soon as you join APC, money exchange hands, and they promise you that you will be returned, either as a senator or House of Reps member or as a governor. Because they believe that the criminal cartel called Tinubu administration has killed free, fair, credible election. They believe that under Tinubu there's nothing like free, fair, credible election, that it was just going to be like the dark days when we will not see ballot boxes and the result will be announced. And that was what Jonathan warned us in one of the videos that was trending on social media, that this criminal cartel that want to remove him in office in 2014, as former Vice President Atiku admitted that they conspired to remove Jonathan and that things are now worse. So in summary, I'm addressing northern leaders and using El-Rufai, as a reference point, because he made those damaging statements. He made those statements that can be classified as religious bigotry, ethnic bigotry, by saying Peter B is pulling very well in Clayson Enclave in the northern Nigeria. He's a Hollywood actor, and that they have replicated what he did in Kaduna, Christian governor and deputy, and now we have Christian Muslim governor and deputy in Kaduna State, now Muslim president and vice president, and that no Christian will win presidential election, and that now can sign all those damaging statements he made, ethnic and religious bigotry statements he made. He must now come out, hide his face in shame, and begin to, retalk all those untruthful statements that he deliberately, push to the uneducated, northern populace, northern voters. We are saying that there must be deliberate, there must be intentional, and they must be very sincere that they really want to change the Tinubu administration, that is a criminal cartel, and that they should also know that the presidency must remain in the south for the next 4 years. And this man called Peter B has given undertaking, and he's a complete gentleman. He said he was going to do only 4 tenure, and that 4 years is enough for him to set the tone, to rewrite, to reset the engine, call the engine of governance. In fact, to reset the engine of governance in Nigeria. So I'm saying that modern leaders, El-Rufai and others, you have to be sincere, you have to be genuine. Come out clean, come out openly, and say Peter B is the person that we're going to, support come 2027 presidential election. Simple. Let's say Peter.